Hi. Okay, so no dog tonight. Sorry, I know he has fans, but he's not here tonight. So sorry about that. Anyway, you watched last week's video. He was going nuts on that. Right. So tonight's class is following on from last week. Where last week we did volcadas, off-axis moves, where our partners, or the two partners, are coming towards each other. This time we did colgadas, where we're moving off-axis still, but away from each other. So similar approaches, similar things you have to watch out for, but it's just kind of the opposite direction. Okay, so first of all, we started off by looking at how we actually lead this thing. Actually, the first thing we did was we just did a little tension exercise to see what it was like. So we just leaned back. That's kind of what it should feel like. Yeah. Now, how do we lead it? We lead it still with our chest. We lead it by going towards our partner and then just back enough just to catch her. So again, straighten her up, and then again what we do, go towards her and then back to support the weight. In hold, what that looks like, and we did it with a little sidestep and block. So all my weight now is on my left leg. I just reconnect slightly with my partner around her back. Then I transfer the weight onto the front leg. She goes back, and then I extend the hold to create the colgada effect. So, forward, and then we just create that little V shape between us, and bring it back in again. Now followers, things to never do, particularly bend backwards. So we never want that to happen. The reason being, one, it puts a lot of strain on your back, but two, it means that for the leader, all of the weight suddenly appears at once. So as she starts to lean back, there'll be no weight, no weight, no weight, and then there'll become a point, which we won't reach, where suddenly you'll be holding all of her weight, and it'll be coming downwards onto your arm, and you'll just go straight forwards. So followers, make sure you go backwards straight. So we want a nice straight lean back, yeah? So it's still coming from the chest going forward. Now, one question that came up was, how do you know as a follower that that's not just a walk forwards? I managed to get my shoelace caught in her shoe buckle, which was clever. This is an unusual wardrobe malfunction. But how do you know it's not just a step forward? Well, the reason being is because we know in tango that if you give a lift to your partner, she knows not to put the free leg down on the ground. And if you look, what we've got is a triangle formed here. And because I keep my front leg straight as I go forwards, I'm actually naturally lifting slightly. So she knows she's not going to be putting any weight down onto that leg. So even if she lets the leg swing back, she knows she's not transferring any weight onto it. Actually, you can create some nice little back crosses doing things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of use for that. But in essence, what we mean is that as we transfer the weight, because we keep this front leg straight, we get slightly taller, so a lift is created. We don't need to do a separate lift. Which does, of course, mean that the whole thing goes a little bit wrong if you're a bit bendy in the front leg and you try and bend. She won't do the thing, she'll just step backwards because she won't feel that lift. So it's important that we have the straight leg and it stays straight as we transfer the weight onto it. Okay, so what did we do with that? Because that's not much of a move for dancing. What we decided was we'd do a little circle. Now I have to sort of step around with my back leg just to create that, that pivot. We're pivoting effectively around one foot. We're not really turning. We can if we allow it to, but there's no need to because we're not really going very far. So we can almost leave the foot where it is, but we can allow it to pivot a little bit if we want to. Yeah. We have to move the back leg. Do not try and collect and go back, because as you come forward, you will have too much weight and you'll just keep going, yeah? So keep that back leg extended, and all you're doing is stepping around with it still stuck out the back. Okay, so just once again, so you lead her, step around. Followers, you're keeping your feet together in the collective position. Your weight is still only on one foot, in this case, the right. Okay, so having done that, then we extended the basic cross. We did a little basic cross on the notcho in the beginner's class, which looked a bit like this on its own. Yeah, so that basically. What we then decided, we then extended that by putting in, as she comes around, a little parada block, and then use exactly the same technique. I've got an unweighted foot here, yeah, but now I transfer some weight onto it. She goes off axis. And then move that back just a tiny bit, and then fold the hold closed. She steps around, and then we can walk out of it. So all we're doing there is folding her closed. We're not leading her around in a circle. We're just folding the open side of the hold so it just comes back into close hold again. So once again, parada block, lead her off axis, step, close the hold, and go. Actually, I put a bit of a pivot in that one, but which was part two, which is what we were about to do. Basically, as I say, all you're doing there is just bringing her back in front of you by just folding that arm closed. But we also added the pivot, which you've got a little preview of just then. We just go into the ocho. As I lead her away, I step back, I pivot around. I reposition my right foot a couple of times, then close the book, close the hold, and off we walk. Yeah? So that right foot, I've transferred the weight onto it, I have to shuffle backwards, I then have to reposition just a little bit. What happens if we don't reposition? Assume the position there. If I try and do that without repositioning, eventually we just get tangled up because of just where the pivot points are on our feet, because we're not actually sharing the same point on the ground. So we kind of wrap around each other. So I just need to reshuffle every now and again. And then there was one last variation, which we did. Okay, so into the cross. Lead her, lead her away. Yeah, around, and then before we came out, turn her, very much like last week's one, and step out that way. Try and do that one a little bit cleaner without me forgetting to do the parada. Lead her away. Pivot, walk out. Remembering the two things that are happening, we're aiming her by turning her on her axis, we're leading her around by turning around the shared axis in this particular case, or around our axis when we're folding her in. So remember what we're doing, if we're turning her, it's on her axis, so we use the chest, the shoulders. If we are leading her around, she's going around our axis, or in the case where we've got a shared axis, she's going around that point. Yeah? One last thing I would say about the hold. When we lead her away, we need to make sure that we've got a good connection here, because we need to be able to support her. Followers, also make sure you've got a good hold there, because if worse comes to the worst and I lose this connection, she needs to be able to still at least slow herself down and hold on at the back there. So this isn't something that you can do if your follower insists on being a front hold follower, which you should never do in tango anyway. Yeah, don't try colgadas. So hand around the back, then we can do the And again, with the one where we're just leading straight away, if I was to go lead her away and grab there, so, you know, there, that's very loose connection, you could lose easily. Keep the hold, lead her away, and allow it to extend in the top part of the arm, the chest, the shoulder and everything. There's plenty of lean there. You don't need to go any further than that. We're not after, yeah, we're after a little bit, just to accelerate the turn and give it a bit more dynamics. Yeah, I think that was it. Right, after the break, we'll do the demo.